clearly resonates with tens of millions of Americans because they are sick of powerful people, powerful men in particular, abusing these power imbalances that exist within the structure to then benefit themselves, to hide stuff for themselves, and to let Jeffrey Epstein or the people in his immediate circle get away. Now, Donald Trump, throughout his entire life, has abused power imbalances whenever he got the chance, whether it's him walking into dressing rooms of beauty pageants that he owns, whether it's him grabbing women because they let him do it. And now that he has the ultimate power as the president of the United States, millions of Americans are like, we're sick of this. We're sick of watching the president cover stuff up when just 10 years ago, Jeffrey Epstein was emailing with Michael Wolff saying that they had leverage over Trump. They were essentially emailing about the leverage they could potentially have over Trump.
Everyone, Adam Mockler here. I just talked to Chris Cuomo about Epstein for a few minutes. You should watch until the end. It gets interesting. Drop a like and subscribe for more. Thank you.
And now he's doing a lot of work with the MeidasTouch podcast as well, which is growing and growing. But you keep ducking my texts, Mockler, and don't think you're going to get away. Eventually, I'll get you. You understand? You can duck my text, you can ghost me, but eventually I'm going to get you. You got me?
I've been working out, Chris. I've been working out. Next time I see you in New York, we can bench. We can see who can bench more, and I might beat you. I might be able to bench more.
First of all, I ate stuff for lunch today that is bigger than you, but that is not the point. You have big ideas. Let's discuss them. So, Adam, help me understand the Epstein thing. The guy's a scumbag. You saw how I even just had to make sure that was very clear, even with Professor Dershowitz. I don't care what he pleaded guilty to. The guy's a scumbag, and anybody who was around him who knew that should be outed. My criticism of the Democrats is, why didn't you release them during Biden? What is this newfound urgency? Is it just to hurt Trump?
Yeah, first of all, the newfound urgency is because of Trump's insane actions surrounding the files. It seems like Trump is using the federal power to protect not only the people in these files, but now he's targeting people selectively that he thinks might be in the files. But number one, the investigation was still partially ongoing under Biden. And to Prince Andrews, that investigation was only just recently dropped. Secondly, Biden's admin wasn't so openly just playing defense. There's a few key things that have happened that people are forgetting. Remember, the Trump FBI edited out 1 minute of Epstein's cell footage and then had no answer for that. Trump moved Ghislaine Maxwell to a low-security prison and gave her special privileges. Trump's name was mentioned thousands of times. I just think the circumstances surrounding this are way different than anything under Biden's term, when a lot of the investigation was still ongoing. And one more thing, Biden wasn't weaponizing his DOJ in the same way that Trump is. Trump is openly sending letters to Pam Bondi saying, yo, Pam Bondi, you should go after this person, investigate this person. This person might be guilty. Biden never did that with Merrick Garland, so I just think it's different.
Well, he certainly didn't do it the same way. Two things. One, you're right, people forget. This was also going on during the first Trump administration, okay? And there were Democrats who had urgency during the first Trump administration that then didn't have the same urgency during the Biden administration. And the second thing is that, yes, I understand the point of what has changed, but where do you expect this to go?
I just want full transparency. As an American citizen, I find it quite scary when the president seems to be using the institutions around him to protect some elites who seem to be pedophiles. I mean, Alan Dershowitz before was drawing the distinction between people who liked 17-year-olds versus 14-year-olds versus 9-year-olds. The woman, now she's a woman, like in present day, but she was talking about it. She was 14 years old. She was a girl when her parents came and talked to Jeffrey Epstein. So it's just, it's all definitely disgusting. I think what I want from this is a bit more transparency. I think that this
release the files.
The lack of transparency can be seen all across the administration. Like, remember, we haven't seen economic numbers from the BLS in 2 to 3 months now.
I agree.
Now, this lack of transparency can be seen everywhere. Like, they don't release the economic numbers. They don't release the files. Over and over, we just see a lack of transparency regarding crypto, regarding other transactions with Trump. It's weird.
I'm with you. I'm telling you. But I just feel like all that matters more. Okay, even the hiding of the statistics, the hiding of ICE statistics, and they keep quoting things that they won't release to everybody else in real time. I care about that more than this. I think this is a boogeyman. I think this is a boogeyman. And you can't convince me that with all the stuff that Democrats looked at and scrubbed and tried with to go after Trump, they had all of this important material in the Epstein files and just didn't use it.
Well,
it
listen,
just doesn't make any sense to me that Ghislaine Maxwell has never come out and dropped a dime. She got sent to a lesser security prison, a better prison. That's what happens when you ask somebody who's in prison to do something, like talk to an investigator. They ask for something back. Her attorneys say it's not as cush as it's being made out to, but I'm still with you. Release all the files. I just don't get that energy right now when these other things matter more than Epstein's files.
Well, listen, this is a boogeyman that clearly resonates with tens of millions of Americans because they're sick of powerful people, powerful men in particular, abusing these power imbalances that exist within the structure to then benefit themselves, to hide stuff for themselves, and to let Jeffrey Epstein or the people in his immediate circle get away. Now, Donald Trump, throughout his entire life, has abused power imbalances whenever he got the chance, whether it's him walking into dressing rooms at beauty pageants that he owns, whether it's him grabbing women because they let him do it. And now that he has the ultimate power as the president of the United States, millions of Americans are like, we're sick of this. We're sick of watching the president cover stuff up when just 10 years ago, Jeffrey Epstein was emailing with Michael Wolff saying that they had leverage over Trump. They were essentially emailing about the leverage they could potentially have over Trump.
Well, right, I'm with you. But Adam, look, Epstein is the last guy we should be believing, okay? And Michael Wolff can explain it any way he wants. But this guy's a dirtbag. Okay, so I don't know that I necessarily believe anything that Epstein was saying because he was a rapacious liar and victimizer. But I'm with you about your critiques and why people want it. Let's remember, it started on the right. And when they believed that they were all lefties, everybody wanted it to come out. Everybody thought that Clintons killed Jeffrey Epstein. I'm with you. But here's my thing. And I see this on affordability also. That's what people are really pissed off about. You guys have high ground on it for now. Trump is going to start running around the country saying it's his issue. And let me be honest, he's a better salesman than you guys. But why not focus there on affordability and don't say we'll do two things at once? You know we can't. Okay,
it's not
you know it doesn't happen.
You want a real raw strategy answer? It's that Donald Trump has spent the past 24 hours melting down about Jeffrey Epstein on Truth Social, trying to defend himself for whatever, God knows what reason. You can intuit what reason, but he's melting down on Truth Social rather than focusing on affordability. And like I just said, you can use this lack of transparency on Epstein as a framework to see his lack of transparency on affordability, on the releasing of economic numbers. I think that just thinking that Democrats should ditch the Epstein issue, I don't know what the strategy would be there. The Epstein issue is important to millions of Americans, and it reveals how much of a sick MFer Donald Trump is, how he will use these institutions to protect himself, use them to enrich himself. He's talking more about the ballroom than he is affordability, more about the ballroom than he is Epstein. And like, I don't get your issue with us talking about two things at once. Trump talked about the border wall, the economy, and a few other things. We can talk about his cruelty, the economy.
Here's why, Adam. Here's why. He talked about them because that's his deal. It's not about doing anything, right? He talks about them. And he's a great salesman. That's the con. In con man is about confidence and the ability to sell. I don't believe you guys could do two things at once. I don't. I've never seen the Democrats execute any kind of strategy, let alone a dual one. I'm saying you have the right issue right now. I think the shutdown was the wrong way to do it. But right now, people in America, at least until the Epstein stuff, which you guys brought back up, right? When you had the opportunity to say, hey, so what's your plan, MAGA, for bringing down costs? If you say we're making it up about the subsidies and reimbursements and how to get costs down, what's your plan? They don't have one.
The good thing is, affordability will likely come back to the forefront because the ACA subsidies are still set to expire next month. I believe they expire.
Yeah,
I have a friend whose mom didn't even know she was reliant on these subsidies until the entire shutdown debacle happened. Then she realized, wait a minute, I'm reliant on these subsidies. Now she's hyper-focusing on what's happening, and she was apolitical before, too. So now she's watching, and it's going to be pretty clear which party shoots down the extension to the ACA subsidies and which party is fighting for lower premiums. So we could still pivot to this affordability issue, but, dude, Trump is squirming. Let us put Trump into a corner. He's squirming right now. Do you see his Truth Social posts? This dude is squirming.
Yes, I see him. I see him. It's only a matter of time before they're about me, by the way. So, you know, I get it. I get the dynamic. I'm just saying the midterms are going to be about who connects to the majority, and affordability is the issue. And to me, it's just every moment spent on something other than that is a moment potentially wasted. But I'll tell you what's never wasted. moments talking to you. You're smart, you're with it, you're connected, and I appreciate you. Adam Mockler, if I don't get to talk to you before, have a great Thanksgiving. I'm thankful for having you within my circle of existence.
We'll chat soon. I'll text you back.
All right, bud, be well. Yeah, you ghost me, man. You ghost me. That's how you kids say it, right? I'll talk to you soon, Adam. Thank you. 4 minutes and 30 seconds.